Right.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon gets big and
Woo! Get this loud. Nice.
everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight.
They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose. They keep things light. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine. You guys are great. Hey, here, let me lower that now. You know, I love starting with that song. I absolutely love this song. Because you can't dance and stay uptight. Isn't that true? I love it. I love that song. And I love to see you guys here. Here, we can admit, awesome. It's so good to see so many of you already. Okay, I love you guys. I'm really excited. Hey, Adam. And there are others who I think I see some faces. Hey, guys, you say hi to each other. It's awesome. Okay, I'm really excited about this morning's The Morning Hump. I'm so excited for Wednesday because it's the Morning Hump, and it's a Wednesday that's the Morning Hump. I do this every other Wednesday with Kettle Space, which is incredible. Since I do see some new faces, I'm going to mention what Kettle Space is all about. So Kettle Space, and who else do I see? I see Joseph. Hey, Joseph Katz. I love all of you guys, okay? And I see new people. So for those of you who are not familiar, Kettle Space is a co-working company that partners with hotels and restaurants to create fantastic working spaces and environments, which I used to enjoy before coronavirus. They then inventively pivoted to become an online forum for creating professional and social connections, like the one we're creating right now. Here we are connecting. So great job for Kettle Space. I look forward to returning to in-person Kettle Space spaces. Anyway, so here we are making connections. So what have I done? I'm going to do a little bit of my own, shtick, and then we're going to jump into our guest because I really have a lot that I want to talk to about or with her. So what have I done? I'd say over the last 2 weeks, the most exciting thing that I've done is that I performed live I performed with my brother. You know what I mean. That's vulgar. I don't know who came up with that. Anyway, I performed live with my brother at a socially distanced surprise 50th birthday party. And none of that's a joke. This actually happened. A surprise 50th birthday party. And this man, so sweet. A man did this for his wife. And I mean, he let us know about this before Corona. I think he told us before Ebola. I mean, seriously, we have known about this for like a long time. And it's a really sweet guy. He's a sweet man who I actually find quite attractive. And he loves his wife, which is a shame for me. But anyway, he's a really great guy. And I had a wonderful time. And it was interesting because I'd never been to a socially distanced party. They had he had a big tent in his backyard. And there weren't very many people to begin with. I'd say he had like 20-ish people. And everyone who lived together sat at their own table. And so they had people, families, there were 3 or 4 people at a table. And then they had me and Adam, they had a table for us, a table for 2 right in the middle. So I kind of felt like it was our wedding, It felt a lot like a wedding, like mine and Adam's wedding. Anyway, I can hear some of you. Maybe you can put the volume up for some people. But Mac, and by the way, this is Mac to my the guy one who says Kettle Space. That's Mac, and he is my sidekick. And people, hey, say hi, Mac.
Hi, Mac.
Great, awesome, cool. I love you guys. There's so many wonderful people in this that I really love. Anyway, so that was exciting. It felt like our wedding. I mean, obviously Adam is married already, but it kind of got me thinking, what it would be like to get married. I've never wanted to get married to Adam, but, I have nonetheless always been a proponent of twin marriage. I think that anyone should be able to get married, particularly twins. I mean, why not? I don't have that interest, but I believe it's illegal for twins to get married in certain states, which upsets me. We were actually part of a class action with a florist, because we went to a florist just considering getting married rather, and she turned us down. She was against it, you know, based on religious beliefs. And none of that's true, of course. I hope you knew that, but the twin marriage bit is not true. Anyway, I want to get started. So what I was thinking about when we performed at this wedding, which was a success, I was thinking that, you know, here now in this kind of unusual time during the pandemic, we really have to be creative about the way we earn and morph our careers. And it made me think of what Adam and I used to do years ago, which was that we had done this. We performed at intimate celebrations live. We made customized performances for people, for graduations, for anniversaries, for birthdays. And then we transitioned it and we made online video greetings, which were called Laugh Cakes at the time. I don't know if any of you knew us then, but we had created a company called Laugh Cake, which was a lot of fun, and we made hundreds of these. Maybe not hundreds, but like 100 at least. So then I thought, here we are on Zoom. I have organized 3 Zoom birthday parties, and I've attended a few birthday parties. Why don't we do Zoom birthday parties? So we are officially in the Zoom birthday party business, or any party, you know, a graduation, any, you know, your first time period, whatever, last time period, you just transitioned, whatever. You're laughing. Thank you, Christina Andrews. I love you. Put her on volume. Anyway, so we can do, thank you, Mac. I want to hear her. So we listen, anything, you know, you just transitioned. Maybe I already said that. We can be very progressive. But I'm open to it. So I'm actually going to put my email in the chat. Mac, maybe you can do that, or I'll do it. And, you know, if you're interested, let us know. And if you're not, that's fine. You know, I'll just be crying for several days if I don't get an email. But no, I'm kidding. But I think that we have to be open to change, seriously. And that actually leads me into the theme of this morning's interview. And that is change and how we and how we adjust to change. So I'm going to begin talking about our guest, my guest, our guest. 1 second. She is, I wrote down some things, but I kind of know what I'm going to say about her. I think I'm just going to go on memory. And I have my questions here. So, sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So my guest, really excited to have her. She already has had a really interesting career so far, and she's still very young. She started off in the fashion industry. She actually, apparently, she transformed an old kind of staid leather wholesaler into a really kind of hot spot resource for high-end leather. So she's into, I'm sure she's kind of kinky, I imagine, with the whole leather thing. And I mean, I'm kidding. Maybe she is. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Kinky, not with leather. By the way, my mother came in the room to ask me for weed, and now she's not leaving.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, let's pretend we didn't hear from her, because it's going to be a surprise who our guest is. Okay. So she's kinky apparently, but seriously, she started off in the fashion industry, and then she transitioned into comedy, which is how I got to know her with my brother Adam. And she now has a really impressive job in comedy. She's a comedy writer and a creative director at Comedy Central. Not only that, she also does a nightly, 5 nights a week, a nightly interview on Instagram Live, and we will get her handle in the chat, and I'll mention it. Please welcome my guest and my friend, Sam Jones. Welcome, Sam Jones. Okay, so my first question was going to be, you know, are you in fact kinky? And we already know the answer to that. So she is kinky. You are, right?
I mean, not leather kinky, but yeah, I'm into it.
Okay, cool, awesome. I love that about you. I mean, I just found out about. I'm not surprised that that's the answer. But into my first real question. So, how did you? You know, the theme here is change. We're mostly talking for now about external change, as it is, you know, relevant to the pandemic. But how did you transition to and change your career from fashion and into
comedy over the last, say, decade or so?
Fashion is a joke in itself, to be honest. So it was hilarious to just watch these people all the time try to be like super, perfect. And I just thought it was really funny that the meaner they were, the cooler they thought they were. So I started doing spoof videos on people in the fashion industry, and then it kind of took off a little bit. And I didn't hate what I was doing. It was fun to get to work with designers and do cocaine and go to fashion shows and stuff. But then it got to the point where my soul felt like hollow. It felt like, I just didn't feel like I had a purpose. And making people laugh, it has always been a thing for me.
Cool. And just like, how did you take on the change? I imagine it wasn't like overnight that you got a job in comedy.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I started doing like spoof videos, and I would do spoof commercial videos. So then I got picked up by the Hollywood Reporter. They did a spread, Sam Jones, the next big thing. And I was like, oh, fuck, I have nothing to back this up. And so it really didn't go anywhere, except a couple of different ad agencies started hiring me as a freelance copywriter and branded content creator. And so it little by little parlayed itself into branded comedy. And then I started working with Droga and Vice and this company, Husay offered me a full-time position. I couldn't turn it down because I'm like, at that time I was 39 and I needed a pap smear. And I was like, how am I going to pay for this? So I took the full-time job, and then they got bought by Viacom. And then once I was at Viacom, I was just very outspoken at meetings because I'm like, I'm going to get fired anyway. This is super buttoned up and I'm on mushrooms half the time at work. So I gave a speech at a meeting. I pitched a client that was like it started as a $250,000 campaign that they were going to give us. And it was for I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. And I pitched them this kind of outrageous idea that I thought they would never go for, but they went for it. And it ended up being an $8 million new business for the company. And then people were like, who is this? What else could she do? And so they moved me from the this one position that I was still a creative director at this influence arm of the company. They moved me. They were like, we need a female voice for Comedy Central. I was like, we need a lot more than that, but okay. And so then I went over to Comedy Central, VH1, and TV Land, and now I do branded spots for them during, to get paid.
Wow.
Awesome. That's very impressive and inspiring for me, because that's, anyway. Okay, so you kind of already talked about your job. I was gonna, but if you could maybe tell us so you still have your job, which is awesome. How, given the pandemic, how has your job changed, and how have you adapted to that change so far?
So the truth of the matter is with me is I'm an extroverted introvert, and I know that sounds like a white girl Pinterest board thing, but like it's true. I like to be I like to go to the party, show off a weird outfit, talk to people for like 20 minutes and then hide and leave, and I do an Irish exit and I leave. I'm the same way in every aspect of my life, so having to be forced to not really socialize or go into the office and do this, it doesn't. And I know this sounds terrible because people are fucking dying. And so, of course, I wanted to go back to a version of normal. But nothing has really changed other than creating spots that are authentic and genuine messaging-wise through the lens of comedy in today's new plague world. So that's one thing, like having to gear the writing toward our present day scenarios. And then also I direct spots. So we can't be on a production set. So I'm directing remotely, which is fucking crazy. It's like you're literally in the matrix, like you're working with talent online. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So that's mostly what's changed for me for the most part.
Okay, cool.
And also this one thing, I can't get a pedicure, so I can climb a tree barefoot now.
That's great. That's great. Love it. By the way, thank you again for being here and getting up early and still looking great. So thank you.
And say hi to your mom.
And please say hi to your mom. Where is your mom? Oh, she's in the back.
She left.
Okay.
She was like, "Did you take my weed?" No, we're in the Catskills. We rented a place in this Catskills. It's. That's in a whole other story. I don't want to take away from anybody else's time, but
No, that's fine. And by the way, this will not be longer than 20 minutes, so don't worry. Like, I know what you mean. Like, you're an introverted extrovert. I get it.
Oh no, I'm fine with you guys because I'm not really looking at anybody. I'm just looking down at the screen, so I'm pretending no one else is here.
Oh, okay, great. We have a nice number of people actually.
Don't tell me how many people are here.
I won't. But no, it just makes me feel good because by comparison to last week, it's a nice number. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so on to my next question. I'm really intrigued by this. Sam is actually, as far as I can tell, is busier now than ever. And some people are, and that's fantastic. And some people aren't. Some people obviously have lost their jobs and are really, really struggling. But anyway, she hosts this fantastic show. It's a nightly Instagram live show. It's at the Real Sam Jones, Yeah, Mac, that'd be awesome if you could put that in the chat. Check it out. These are very intimate, hour-long conversations, one of which was actually with Adam. And I'm going to have my own in August, but they're with a variety of people, many of them in Sam's careers, either in fashion or comedy. But I also saw one with an interesting guy who's an investor. So she's been talking and having hour-long conversations 5 nights out of the week with people. I imagine by now you've probably spoken to 50 people with like hour-long conversations, maybe around that number. So you've been speaking to a lot of people, a lot of whom I'm sure have been in some way, really having difficulty or having to adapt to this change. What is it how have you learned from people and how they're changing? And if you could speak to what you're learning from people, how they're changing, ideally, how they're changing well, if you can just talk to that. Because
I think what most people are saying, I mean, the conversation just usually ends up being, the hour goes by so fast, we do touch upon the plague and how they're adjusting to it. And so a lot of people are just saying that it's a pause and they're getting to slow down and either realize they want to get a divorce, they shouldn't have had kids, or they're happy that they're married and they're happy that they have kids. People are taking stock and accountability of where they are in their life, I think, because before this happened, we're always, I mean, I could speak for myself, a few people that I know are just like, go, 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 go. What's the next thing we've got to do? That we don't have the time to actually, even when we're on vacation, to sit with ourselves and be like, allowing ourselves to figure out what is it that we want? Why are we here? Now we're seeing so easily that life can change instantly. And so it's like, well, what is our purpose here? Are we living, again, I'm sounding like a philosophical wannabe guru, but are we living our truth? Are we living something that's fulfilling and a fulfilling life, purpose-driven? And I think a lot of people are finding that whether what they're lacking or that they actually have what they want. And I think a lot of other people are trying to figure out, what is the next thing that, like, how are they going to get out of this? Is production going to go back? Is comedy going to be a thing? Or is live music going to be a thing? So I think just people are learning to surrender to the unknown. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm taking from everything,
Cool. No, that was really helpful. I love that response. Harness whatever that thing is. You're excellent. By the way, I just quickly want to acknowledge Heather, who is here, who is in from Austin. Love you, Heather. So it's a little earlier even there. So thank you for being here.
So I thought Heather was Blondie. I got nervous for a second. Blondie's on here?
No, Heather actually, so Sam Jones, in part because she has just a great persona and she's cool and she's authentic. She has a sizable Instagram following, as does Heather, who is beautiful and inspirational and really cool, and in Austin, who also has a nice Instagram following as well. So check her out as well. Heather, you are 57 kicks, 56 kicks, right? Put it in the chat, okay? Anyway, so okay, cool. So so how would you say that you are, you know, in what ways are you adjusting to change in a way that you're happy about, and maybe in what ways are you still, you know, kind of trying to figure this all out?
One major thing that I've been trying to figure out, I've been with my life partner for, it's almost going on 9 years we're together. And before the whole, you know, this whole thing happened about 5 months ago, we decided, because we have such an amazing relationship but such a terrible sex life, that we were going to open up our sex life, and we were going to try to see what it would be like to be in an open relationship, not polyamorous, like where we're like in love with someone else and seeing other people, but like basically just fucking other people. And it was, you know, we were starting to cultivate that and have conversations, and then this happened.
Yeah.
So it brought us together in certain ways. Our sex life is still not good, but so that's something, is like, what's going to happen when I get out of here? Because I'm not thinking about like work and all that stuff, because if tomorrow Viacom was like, you know what, you can't say cunt in a meeting, you're fired, then I'll just find something else. Like, I'm not worried about, I don't have that fear. I'll waitress, I'll write,
Yeah.
you know, I'm fine. So that's the one thing, is like relationship wise and life. Like, what was the question again?
Well, I like, it doesn't matter. I'm liking the answer.
Okay, that was the answer. Sorry, I was like, does he hear me?
No, but you know, I noticed in your answer, despite the vulgarity, which is fine. I mean, that's you, and I love that about you. That you did exhibit a real confidence. I mean, a lot of people are scared right now, and they're thinking, well, what if I lose my job? What if I never get another job? I mean, I didn't hear that from you, and maybe that is part of your, you know, of your success. You're like, I'm
scared of everything. I'm scared to go on the train. I'm scared to walk across the street if there's a group of people. I'm scared to give a pitch in a meeting of 20 people. I'm scared literally of everything, but I just force myself to do it, you know? And I know this sounds so stupid, and I might be like going a little bit sideways. The coffee's not that strong here, but it reminds me of when I was a little kid. I used to go to this place called Brighton Beach Baths and Racquetball Club, which was a beach club in Brooklyn, New York, in Brighton Beach. And they had a really high diving board, and I climbed up the diving board, and then I would climb back down because I was so scared. And one day I just hated myself for not doing it. And so no matter how scared I was, I forced myself to jump off of it. It never got easier. It was always scary, but I kept forcing myself to jump. And so that's the same thing that I do in life. So I'm not scared of the things that a lot of people are scared of. I'm scared of things that most people aren't scared of, if that makes any sense.
No, that does. And I've actually heard that from a lot of successful people, about how it might not appear that way, but they're actually still scared every day of the things they do that may appear to be easy to others. No, thank you. That's really interesting. How high was that diving board? Was it like?
I mean, it was like tree length. It was pretty high.
Yeah, honestly, the highest diving, I was scared the diving board was probably like 2 feet from above the water. So like, that's a big deal for me. And then I heard some interview of yours. Some guy he goes like surfing at night. Like, that sounds pretty terrifying. And you indicated that you were scared of that. So anyway, you might not remember that conversation.
I'm scared of everything, including every night. Tonight I have Seth Herzog on. I'm petrified. I'm sweating even thinking about it, mostly because I'm premenopausal, but also because I'm very nervous that I'm gonna like not be funny, you know? So anyways.
Yeah.
That was just a plug so that you all know that I have Seth Herzog on the show. So tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Well, we will. I'm excited about it. Okay, so now thank you so much, Sam. Now I want to turn it over to the whole group, because this is an interactive show, and I love you guys, and really all of you. Hey, Jim Malone, what's up? I used to work for Jim years ago at Inc. magazine. I was an intern. I was so young. I mean, I'd still be an intern. Who knows? Anyway, so and thanks to Mac and to Joseph who helped me promote this. Anyway, so I want to turn this over to you, and we're going to go into breakout rooms, which is really cool. So I'm going to pose the questions that I posed to Sam, the last questions, and that is, I mean, all of us have clearly been affected by this in some way or another. Some of us more than others. In what ways do you feel that you could work on or improving how you're adjusting to this pandemic? And in what ways are you kind of pleased, about how you've pleased or even surprised, about how you've adjusted? And something that really isn't so bad. So kind of those two questions, Mac, if we could put in the chat. How you wish maybe you could improve better on how you're adjusting, and how you're pleased with how you've adjusted so far. Okay, so Mac's going to put us into breakout rooms of like 3 or 4, and then we're going to chat for a little bit, say about like 5 minutes or so, or maybe even more, 5 to 7 minutes, get to know each other. Then we'll come back and we'll have another little chat, and then we'll say goodbye. Okay? Awesome. So Mac is doing his wizardry. In the meantime, I can, I actually, my monologue, so to speak, was a little shorter because I wanted to leave more time for this conversation. Andy, how are you doing?
Okay, we're all good, Todd. Sorry to cut you off, but I can open the rooms now.
You can open the rooms now? Okay, great.
Doing really well, thanks.
Thanks.
There you go. You should see a pop-up on your screen to jump into a room, and I'll share the questions while you're in there. Have fun.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Did you get an invite screen?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good.
Let me just see here. So Meryl, you should see an invite on your screen.
Oh, join. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Great. Okay, so I'm going to give it maybe 6 more minutes. Hello, Meryl. Oh, you might have. I think you're on mute still. You might have just dropped out of the room.
Yeah, and it says there's something that says leave meeting. Should I just write report problem?
No, I can put you back in a room.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I think I was with Todd. Perfect.
Oh, you want to go with Todd? Yeah, I can do that. Let's see here.
Thank you so much. You're fabulous. And he loves you.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I can see. It's so cool to meet his mom.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love being both of their moms. Great.
All right. Here you go. Okay, you should see
Okay, the host, so just join the breakout room.
Yep. There you go. Hey, Arnie. You might be on mute there. Did you want to jump back in the room, or are you? Oh, there you go. Welcome back, Wade.
Thank you, good sir.
Here they come. Welcome back, people.
What's up?
Oh, you're on mute.
Hey guys, what's up? I mean, I was not able
I'm so
to.
sorry, I missed your comment.
I got cut off. We weren't. Not all of us were able to share in time. I don't know if that was the same for you guys. But anyway, I was paired with my mom, who I got to learn more about. And unfortunately, I missed learning a little bit more about Kylie, who was also in our group. But anyway, so I'm gonna kind of pick out people, and I mean, and you know, I didn't really learn anything new from anyone else because Kylie, we missed you. But let's see, Christina Andrews, how you doing? I love your smile and your. Would you tell us a little bit about, you know, either what you shared or what you learned from others about, you know, what you feel good about, what you can still improve upon?
Yeah. So actually, I got spoiled because I was in the group with Sam, and I told her I admired your. I'll say it again to the whole group. Like, I just admire your authenticity so much.
Great.
And a lot of what I'm doing, because I'm developing my brand right now, and Sam actually shared with me, and I told her I get it, because I worked in corporate. I became an entrepreneur because I got laid off. Like, I'm a dancer, and it was Achilles tendon injury that forced me to realize I needed to pivot. And, you know, other things have forced me into it, like the loss of my mom in November, et cetera. But anyways, no, thank you. But a lot of what I'm doing is like Brene Brown, Priya Parker, and the thing, they're all about authenticity. And like Priya talks a lot about gathering, like why we gather, not about the things. And so it was really great being in that breakout room, because like, you know, kind of delving further with Sam and asking her, you know, Sam, you gave me some great feedback of like how you just are yourself. And I think that's been reoccurring in my networking, is always be authentic. Even if it's not a great meeting, if it doesn't click, it's just like be authentic. So again, I keep on saying Sam, but Sam, thank you for being an example of that today. I appreciate it. I think the group does too. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I also showed Christina my boobs, and she didn't think they were terrible. So I mean,
I'm a dancer. We change in front of each other all the time. Like, my girlfriends look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, this is just what we do. We just
That's great. Listen. I mean, I called it. This is called the morning hump because I have, you know, I'm interested. I'm into that stuff. So if you were able to virtually hump, that would have been great too. So anyway.
That's weird that your mom's on the call and.
Yeah, you know, that is weird.
Listen, Sam, your mom, I'm sure your mom sees your boobs very regularly. But anyway.
No, my mom doesn't see my boobs, but I am into the porn taboo, which is kind of crazy because it's you know.
Wow. Listen, I think here on Kettle Space, we can only go so far. But listen, I'm very interested in all of that. Let me pick someone else out. I can't see her face, but well, actually, let me go to Joseph. Joseph, who were you paired with? And tell me, unless you don't want to be called on.
That's
but you know something, just like Sam says, when you're scared, just go for it, run towards it.
I'm not scared. You can't hurt me, Todd.
No,
we had a fun little group. Heather, Jim, and Jing. I hope I pronounced that correctly. We first sang songs together, so that was unusual. I chose the Happy Birthday song because we washed our hands so often, and it was pointed out to me that white people tend to sing Happy Birthday in a very sad, dark. It's depressing almost. So Jim had an upbeat version, and I kind of tried to make it a little more upbeat. And Jing shared a song from China, which was interesting. And Heather sang a song from Spain.
Wow. Okay, cool. That's exactly what I was hoping for you guys to be doing, singing Happy Birthday. No, I'm kidding. Whatever the hell came about this, that's great. Okay, well, okay, how about Anthony? What were you, what
we did what we were supposed to. We stayed to the task. We talked about the positives.
Thank you.
And the negatives, and everybody's doing well. And it was Anthony, Adam, and Andy. And looking at the three names, it was like we have three very porn names. You know, like it's all first names. So, but everybody
also have an AA meeting.
Yeah, an AAA meeting.
Okay, cool. So do you want to share anything, Anthony? Because I actually know personally that you've done you've adapted to this in some ways very well, that I've been a part of. Do you want to talk about some of that and some of the things that maybe you're still trying to work on?
Well, I have to, like, I feel uncomfortable saying this, but I'm winning COVID. Like, I'm doing really well. I'm thriving. Good. So I'm trying to make the best of it.
Good.
I'm getting a lot of writing done for my work that pays the bills and my comedy that doesn't yet pay the bills. I need to exercise more. I won't be able to live past 43. So, and we've been hosting weekly comedy shows on Zoom, which has been a lot of fun. That's been my creative outlet. And that's that.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, they're fantastic stand-up Zoom shows, which Adam and I have been on. They're awesome. You get a great crowd, and it's a lot of fun. So thanks.
Yeah, we laugh.
And you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people.
I try.
So you are winning COVID, and I'm sure all of us are here in many ways. Okay, who was in a group that I didn't? Wade, how you doing?
Good. I was in the group with Christina and Sam, so I was just letting them do their thing, and I was sort of like watching from here. Like, am I allowed to watch? What's happening?
Then Wade, you want to talk with me one-on-one in front of everyone? How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's been an interesting week. Talked to some people that are doing really well with, you know, growing their business and doing, you know, some of their best work, and other people that are not doing their best work and trying to figure out where I fall in that. So,
well, let me just take your business quickly. I've learned about you from here. Wade makes decals. It's a little loud on your end. Awesome. Wade makes decals. It used to be in person for physical events, but I think there's a great opportunity, which Wade sees, to make decals for online backgrounds. Like, isn't Wade's background really cool? He designed that. So he can do that. He can do that for any of us, for events, for you know, just to have a cool, unique background, unlike this one. So Wade, definitely put your name and the name of your company in the chat. And what is in the name of your company's I Do Decals? Is that right?
I do event decals. I'm also doing like social distancing decals for those businesses that are opening up again. So
awesome. Okay, cool. So thank you. So I think this went well. I love it. And I want to thank Sam for joining us.
Yay, Sam.
And then quickly before we end, I have a few things. Okay. A good friend of mine and I play the name game. We love it. If you had to name your child one name or the other, which would it be? Okay. Eduardo or Brian?
Eduardo.
I would go with Eduardo too. It's really
Eduardo.
Who else?
Okay, no.
Anyone for Brian? No one does Brian.
I got a good friend, Brian Homa, known as Brer Brian. So I could see naming a kid after him, but Eduardo is probably a better name.
Okay, yeah.
Brian is the dog from Family Guy.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's all that comes to my mind when I hear Brian.
Okay. So we got that finished with. Then I was asked, and at the end of every the morning hump, we learn the word for Wednesday in a different language. That's going to be Hebrew. I'm going to tell all of you how to say Wednesday in Hebrew, and we're going to wish ourselves a happy Wednesday. Before that, though, I was asked. Mac asked me to mention there's what is it, Mac? What do you want me to mention?
The survey, Todd.
A survey. If you want to fill out this survey that Mac is going to put in the chat, which by the way I can't see, but if I click it, I guess I will see it. So is it in the survey? Is it in the chat now? Awesome.
In the chat. Take 2 minutes if you guys want to drop that in your browser. You can do it now or after the event.
You can do it after. Yeah, maybe copy and paste it or whatever into your browser or into somewhere else so you can fill it out later. Yeah, just say I'm like awesome and really like intelligent and attractive, you know, and all that stuff. I'm kidding. Like if you had a good time, if you learned, if you felt engaged, you know, share it. If you enjoyed Sam, that'd be great. So either do that. I don't think they're going to do that now, but if we could copy and paste it, like it would be Sorry, do you want them to do it now, Sam? I mean, Mac.
No, after Todd.
After, okay. Do this after. It would be helpful. That'd be awesome. But before then, we're gonna do our Wednesday in another language, and it's Hebrew this time around. And now, if anyone is a native, like speaks Hebrew, maybe one, I don't know if Joseph does. I think Joseph does. Do you want to say it? Do you want to say Wednesday rather than? I mean, I think I can do it okay. You'll probably do it better.
Sure. Yom Revi'i.
Perfect. Okay. So Yom Revi'i. Yom Revi'i. So let's do that on 3. Wait, how do I? It's wrong. Yom Revi'i.
Yom Revi'i.
Yom Revi'i.
Yom Revi'i.
Yom is day. Revi'i is 4.
Oh, day 4. Oh, Yom Revi'i.
Can we do that on 3? I'm gonna count. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yom Revi'i. Yeah. Yeah. Happy Yom Revi'i. Okay. I love you guys so much. You guys can take off now. I'm gonna play my music a little bit, but hang out if you want to. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Sam.
Todd, you need to contact your friend and get a decal so we don't have to see your sink.
Oh, yes, I do. No, seriously, wait. Let's work on it. Let's do something because let's do something. Love you guys. Okay.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye. So much fun.
So